Okay, we're starting the Large San-Sau, putting it together with a partner. This does not teach you about technique, it teaches your body how to move. That's what it does. It's the most brilliant tool for teaching your body how to move at a reflex level against all kinds of attack. It teaches us to move as he moves. It doesn't teach us to move now against that sort of an attack because the attack's already there. It teaches us to move now when the attack, and that's when we must move. In order for the Large San-Sau to work with a partner, you must move as he's moving to attack you. You don't wait for his fist to get there and then do the next move. You must move as it's happening. It teaches us at a reflex level to see what kind of a strike your opponent's going to make on you without looking at him. You're using what's called eagle vision or deep peripheral vision all the time. Every move that's in the Large San-Sau, or the Pao Chui form, was developed not because of its self-defense application, because some of them are downright silly, but because it's causing you to see, if someone's, for instance, at a very base level, someone might be going to punch you with their right hand. They might go like that. Obviously, you know where the punch is coming from. Whoop! From there. That's a very base level. So Pao Chui teaches you that's when you hit him. Not when he's here, there. Because the body is making the same movement here as it is here. And the Pao Chui teaches us to recognize that very tiny movement. So we have moves like this, which you would never use in a real situation. It's to teach your subconscious mind to pick out the opponent's body movement, his body language. So if he were doing a move like that, you would know exactly where the attack's coming from. As soon as he moved, bang, you would hit him. And that's the beauty of the Large San-Sau. A lot of people look at the Large San-Sau and say, oh, I would never use a move like that. Well, of course you wouldn't. But it's teaching you to recognize when someone's going to attack you, first of all, and how they're going to attack you, what sort of attack is going to be put upon you. So that's why we have really exotic movements in the Large San-Sau. There's another area of Large San-Sau, which we won't get into this lesson, but there's another area where your partner attacks you and you strike him on certain points. And that actually causes his body to gain more power because you've struck those points on your partner's body. The very first move on the B side is like so. That very first move is the most important thing. I'm actually striking my opponent's arm. So if Eli's doing the first move and I get that, I'm going well, aren't I? You get, see how I hit just there, just below triple heater 8, and then I hit just on the other side of his arm there, colon 10, so I get bang! That's not to my advantage, it's to Eli's advantage. That's causing his subconscious brain to develop more power for his next attack. It's a very complicated area like this. a little bit like what we just did, but it's a very interesting and rewarding area. We will do that at some other time. Thank you. But that's just to explain that there are many areas of the Large San-Sau. The first thing is, at a very basic level, which I'm not teaching it at, is to simply get two people moving in harmony in a attack defense sort of a way. That's the very first level. What we'll be learning here is not only getting everything, all the angles and all the power directions correct, we'll also be learning simply how to move the body, and I'll also be taking you into and keeping in context with the small workshop, which this is the small frame area of the Large San-Sau. I've already indicated this to a certain degree. I think I've forgotten even how the basic form starts. Something like that. No? How does the basic form start here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. Don't tell me. Get away. Ah, yeah, okay. Don't tell me this. Well, it starts like this. That's right. At the small frame level, which I've already begun to teach, that's how it starts. And that's akin to what I told you earlier on. The Baguazhang little dragon. Baguazhang little dragon doesn't have a big dragon's hands, by the way. It's his son, so he has hands like this, little hands. I'll explain why later. It's more or less an ox tongue palm. That's where the ox tongue palm comes from. That's getting away from the subject, aren't I? Okay, but I want to put it together with a partner. So as we put it together, you'll get an idea maybe as to how the solo form happens as well. So we still start like that. That's how the solo form starts. Everyone's going to ask me what I'm doing. Okay, Eli's attacking. That's what we're doing. Yeah? But that doesn't happen in the form because we have to start it somehow, of course. So we simply started with a punch, and that's where he reacts to that punch. So we're going to start it off from the top, and the best way I can do it, there are obviously people here who are doing it already. The best way I can do is to watch you doing it and then correct, because most people get the same mistakes. Basically, we're going to start it. Eli's starting. The very first, keep coming. The very first thing is your hands must go towards his face. Don't go like that. My hands must go towards his face like this. See where my left hand ended up on his arm? That in itself is a beautiful movement. It's so economical, and you don't have to think about anything. See how I'm protected from his left hand by my left hand now, automatically. Again, I step to the side slightly, my left hand comes up toward his face. See that? My fingers are pointed towards his face. You can't go wrong if you think about that. Never do this. It just comes straight up toward his face. And straight away the other hand comes up and points towards his temple. So it kicks up at the end. At the same time, I've kicked him in the knee. Okay, again.